Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for listening and tuning in and taking up your time, your valuable time when you can be doing a million other things. I'm sure you have a lot more productive things on your list than listening to my podcast, so I appreciate it. Or maybe you're listening to my podcast while you're doing productive things. Hey, that would be a win-win, right? That would be awesome. But whatever the reason that you are listening, I appreciate it. Thank you. So welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. What is keeping me up? Oh my, by the way, you might hear my washer and dryer going on in the background. I should probably move so you're not listening to my washer go off. Anyway, what is keeping me up this time? What kept me up last night? I tell you, well, a couple of things. One, I feel my heart genuinely goes out to those that have addiction issues, those that struggle with addiction, because obviously it's incredibly hard. That's a duh. I don't need to say that, but it's incredibly difficult to have to every single day remind yourself that to try to stay away from whatever it is you're addicted to. And if it's alcohol, it sucks because there's commercials for alcohol all the time. You go into every store known to man, there's alcohol. You go to restaurants, there's alcohol. And so it's just all over in your face. Gambling, if you're addicted to gambling, that's kind of all over and in your face too. I mean, there's lottery tickets and Keno everywhere you go now. And with people being broke and wanting to pay bills, they want to get that quick fix. They want to be able to get money right now. And so gambling is a hard one and it never goes away. But my heart goes out to anybody that struggles with whatever addiction it is. Maybe it's addicted to gossip. Maybe it's addicted to shopping. Whatever it is, I feel bad because it's hard. It's hard to have to try to live day by day. Some people like to go to meetings every single day. Some people go to church. Some people meditate. Some people exercise. Some people do all of the above. Whatever it is that works for them, whatever combination works, you should do it. And it's not a one size fits all, It's not a one size fits all thing. I feel, excuse me. I feel everybody is different. Everybody deals with things differently. And some people can somehow manage. My God, there's a lot of noise. There's an airplane right above me. Lord, it's busy today. Okay. Hello. You're video bombing. You're podcast bombing. It's my paparazzi. But some people like to go to meetings every day. Some people don't like to remind themselves of every day they've been sober. Some people know the exact moment, minute, day of the week it was they quit, the time of day, everything about when they quit, and they keep track of it. And that's amazing. They can tell you, I'm 2 years sober, 2 years, 2 months, 1 day sober. And that's amazing. You should brag about that. You should absolutely let the world know. And then there are other people that don't like to keep track because it just kind of reminds them of maybe how long it's been since they've had a drink or a drug or whatever the case may be. And I'm that kind of person. I don't like to keep track of things because for whatever reason, again, this goes back to things I've talked about in my previous podcasts. I can't do like New Year's resolutions and I can't like set goals out loud and tell people that, I'm going to run 2 miles a day or I'm going to exercise. It's like the moment that I say it out loud, I just won't do it. I won't. I don't know what it is. I could get into the psyche of it and stuff, but I just think I have to do it for me. And it has to be a goal that I feel like if I say out loud, it's um it's just that I need to do it for myself, and I need to prove to myself with no one's help or anything that I'm going to do this thing. And then when I achieve it, I just am like to myself, I'm like, go me. And if it's something that's really large, like say in my brain, I was like, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to get a degree, then of course I would want to kind of tell everybody after I got my degree or after I already enrolled and had been in school for a while, but I probably wouldn't even tell people until after I was in school for a while. I don't mean it rude, but I can't do things. I feel like I'd be doing it for someone else. And usually the goals that I set for myself are personal things that I want for me to make me a better person for others. So when I set them for myself, it's for me, but it's also so that I could be a better mom or a better grandma or a better partner, better friend. But initially I do it for me. And I feel like when I tell other people about it, they start doing the whole like, you should do this or you should try this and you should go here. And I can't handle that. I do my own research. I've never, ever, ever been one. God, it's busy. Sorry. FedEx. FedEx, not UPS. I mean, not Amazon. Wow, that's a switch. It's FedEx. Um, but I'm not one. I feel like when you say your goals, see now FedEx sidetracked me. When you are keeping track of those things and you are, gosh darn it, I was on something and now my brain has gotten sidetracked by FedEx and being tired. But if you, oh, doing it for myself, I feel like the same with charity and stuff. I feel like when you donate and you do charity and you give money or um, you're donating money especially or like an item or things to a charity, I feel like you should keep it to yourself and you should do it for you and you shouldn't do it for the glory. Nothing wrong with the glory, nothing wrong with getting glory. I'm not knocking those that do. I mean, if you're given charity, who cares if you want thank you? I'm not saying I don't want the thank you. A thank you is nice. I would appreciate it if someone said thank you. And then that's it. I don't need a parade. I don't need two thank yous. I don't need just a thank you. And that's cool. I know I do things for people or that I know appreciate it. And I know they're not fake. And I know they mean it. And I know they're grateful. Whatever organization it is, like if it's to the military, when we gosh, it was 2021. We sent a bunch of stuff to the military and we didn't tell anybody we were doing it. And again, you should advertise for things like St. Jude's in the military and for, our veterans or whatever it is, whatever organization, you should give them attention because, of course, you want people to be able to donate. But I'm just not one for a plaque donated in my name. I would probably donate it to like this is from all that, like if I did the Humane Society, I'd be like, this is dedicated to all the dogs out there, or I dedicate it to like my dog that passed away or something, but not in my name. I don't know. Again, I am not knocking people that have that like the plaques and all of that. Hey, if you're doing something nice, the point is you're doing something nice, and that's great. But with drinking and with like goals, I just don't like to talk about them because again, I do them for me and I don't need other people's input. I don't want other people's input. I don't mean that shitty, but it's like I'm doing this for me. I will research myself. I will look into things myself. I appreciate that you want to help me. I appreciate you have things that have worked for you or worked for people and you're just trying to help. I do that. I give input. My poor kids, I give more input than I should. I I give advice. Excuse me. Gosh, pardon me. I give advice when it wasn't solicited. I have to work on that a lot. It's a bad, bad, bad habit. Um, but anyway, I just feel like addictions are hard and I feel bad for anybody that is struggling. And I feel bad, especially when they are addictions that are in your face, like crack. Not saying that it's not hard to quit crack. It is incredibly, I'm assuming I've heard, it's incredibly hard to quit. But at least it's not like in every commercial. It's not on every shelf of every store. It's not just readily available in every grocery store, mini mart, you know. And if you're addicted to gambling, shopping, alcohol, those things are hard because they are right there all the time. And you're having to constantly figure out ways to avoid that thing. And maybe your way of avoiding is not avoiding. Maybe it's in your face. Maybe you're a bartender and you're an alcoholic because for you, being surrounded and reminded by what you look like when you're drinking or how much it costs or whatever genuinely helps you. I don't know how often that's ever happened. I don't know who that works for. I feel like it'd be a very, very small percentage of people, but I'm sure there are people out there that are alcoholics, recovering alcoholics, and they work in places that serve alcohol. I mean, when you think about it, again, you work in a restaurant, and if you're a waiter, waitress, you're going to probably serve alcohol. So do you put yourself in that position or do you find another job that you're not around it? I know people that can be around alcohol and they are recovering alcoholics and it does not bother them. And there are other people that have to totally stay away from it. And maybe it depends on where you are in your sobriety. Of course, if you just started your sobriety journey, if you just started your journey and you've only been sober for, I don't mean only, as in it's not a lot. I just mean if you're new and you've been sober for like a month, then you probably shouldn't be a bartender or be around alcohol. But for some people, it might work, you know? Maybe it takes until, 10 years and then you can do that. Who knows? But my heart goes out because you want so badly to help that person. And sometimes the best thing you can do to help that person is let them fall and make their mistakes and be held accountable. Sometimes you have to watch that person fall and not give them a hand, and they have to figure it out. And that is extraordinarily difficult if it's somebody that you love and care about. How do you let someone that you love, that the last thing in the world that you want is for them to be hurt? The last thing you want to see is them struggling, knowing how hard it is for them, knowing that they're working on many things and trying not to bite off. Gosh, guys, sorry, I have to take a drink. One sec. Lord. Whew, sorry about that. But you really want to help that person and you do not want to see them fail. And when they bite off more than they can chew, if they're trying to quit too many things at once, you don't want to take on too much. It's just too many things to take on. Again, though, then there are the people that can, that just, they thrive on taking on many things. Although I want to do a study on that because do they really or do they just say that? Because when they say they thrive, I mean, are they secretly like in their house on their bathroom counter, like snorting Coke? And you're secretly like losing hair and stressing out because you're not able to take on all that you think you are? I mean, you're taking it on physically. Yes, you're sitting there physically taking on these things, but are you doing it like successfully? Or at the risk of your mental and physical health, at the risk of your family. Maybe you're not seeing your family at all. Maybe you're not hanging out with them. Maybe you're not giving quality time to your family. So are you able to juggle those things? Again, some people are. I like having a lot of balls in the air, but then I also say I don't sleep and I'm an insomniac and, I get depressed. So, what the fuck do I know? So that's on my mind and plus it's my mom's birthday. It would have been my mom's birthday today. So happy birthday, Mom. I have wished her happy birthday and had a long conversation with her last night and this morning. But shout out to my mom. Happy birthday. I miss you. I love you. And she's the reason I started this podcast to bring awareness to the murderous Biden administration and Kate Brown flush it down. And now we have Tina Tampax. So, yeah, there's that. But I've discussed this on several podcasts that Anybody that was on board with the whole, you have to get vaccinated or you lose your job business, and closing down all of the mom and pop shops and not allowing seniors to be with their family when they're dying, you have blood on your hands. You, in my eyes, in my opinion, have blood on your hands and you are a murderer. Plain and simple. Uh-oh, my machine's going crazy. But that's why I started this podcast, was about my mom and the fact that she had to be in an assisted living facility during COVID when the Biden administration felt it necessary to keep senior citizens away from their activities, away from their loved ones as they're dying, and keeping people in hospitals as they're dying away from their loved ones. So, and not providing actual facts or actual information. They didn't provide anything accurate or factual at all. They participated in lying and, again, killing people. They are murderers and, in my opinion, should be held accountable. So I started doing this podcast to talk about dementia and Alzheimer's and bring up some of the regulations and policies that were going on during COVID. And I used to do TikTok videos about it, and I ended up getting banned, and I ended up having my account taken down. But before I got my account taken down, I got death threats, like actual death threats. So I was participating in hate speech, bringing awareness to the fact that my mom was in an assisted living facility and I was not allowed, as her daughter, to go into a private room where nobody else was while wearing a mask, and I could wash my hands and I could stay 6 feet away and talk to my mom. But all the caregivers throughout the day, for the different 24-hour, it's a 24-hour place, so different caregivers come in within a 24-hour period, and med aides and housekeeping and dietitian aides and sometimes doctors and all of that. They were all allowed to come in, but I was not. And I was allowed to take my mom out and let her be around a million other people that we didn't know if they were vaccinated or not, or what kind of cooties they had. And I could bring all of those germs back to the assisted living facility, but I was not allowed to go through the doors myself. Ugh. I tell you, and I couldn't bring my mom outside because she had had double hip surgery 2 years prior and then had a bunch of issues going on. And she also had COPD. So, and then she had incontinent issues and all kinds of stuff. So taking her out didn't work. It was too painful for her. And she had to be around a bathroom at all times. She had a catheter. She had a freaking catheter and COPD. And I'm going to take my mom around, and she had had double hip. It was too much. So I never got to see my mom as she's dying and getting dementia, where she's not even able to use her phone at one point. It got to the point where she couldn't dial my phone number. But she used to, when she could, she would beg me, please come see me. Please come see me. I'm scared. I don't want to die alone. I don't want to die alone. I'm scared. Please, why can't you come see me? I want to see you. I love you. I miss you. Ugh. And the Biden administration and all of their glory, and the crazy left, the crazy lefties, and Kate effin Brown thought that the best thing to do was to spread lies and misinformation and keep scared, dying elderly people away from their family members. Yeah, that sounds like a good solution. And people in hospitals dying without their family members. And saying that people were dying of COVID just to be able to get money, claiming people died of COVID that did not die of COVID just so they could make a buck. And this is the administration that just prides themselves on mounting their gigantic horses, their high horses. Holy cow, I got a phone call, and it was a long phone call. And now I don't even know what in the bleep I was talking about. So there's that. This is why my editing thing, I should edit, because it's times like this when everybody's going to be listening. And then no one knows that I ended up getting a phone call until I tell them. And then I'm on the phone forever. And then I have like totally spaced what I was talking about. So then you guys are going to be listening. It's going to go from, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden me being like, hey, never mind. Just kidding. I have no idea what the fuck I was talking about. And we're going to go on to something else. Other than I know I was saying, I was complaining about leftists being, in my eyes, they have blood on their hands, and that the Biden administration and Kate Brown should be held accountable. But anyway, it's my mom's birthday, and she is why I started doing this. And, I said I was going to talk about just whatever was on my mind, whatever was keeping me up at night. So those are some things that are keeping me up. Here's another. It's so weird. The town I live in is fairly small, and apparently there was an attempted bank robbery. And I found that so weird because I'm like, how does anyone? I feel like that's just not something that gets done anymore, because how are you going to get away with it? Like, how does anyone get away with robbing a bank anymore? Like, I just feel like it's not a thing. However, that said, I don't know if they've caught the person. Last I checked, they were still looking. And it looked like it was kind of funny because I think it was just the bag, but at first it looked like he was trying to rob somebody with bug spray. So in the picture. But anyway, I just got me thinking, I'm like, how on earth do people commit certain crimes anymore and get away with it? Like, I just feel like in today's day and age, with all the technology we have, but maybe it's the technology that keeps people from getting caught, because we have such good technology. There are things out there that prevent them from getting caught. I don't know. But when it's a bank robbery, that in particular, I'm like, how does anyone get away with that anymore? Why does anyone attempt that with all the cameras and with the fact that we all know that there's a button that you push? I don't know. I just feel like it's a weird thing to try. And how many people have gotten away with it? Like, you see on the movies all the time that these people have it down to a science. They know how long it takes for any police to get there. They know how long, they've got the whole place laid out, mapped out, they know how long it takes, and they have it down to a science. And they, of course, wear disguises and things that cover up anything that would identify them. But still, I don't know. It boggles my mind that people can get away with robbing a bank. I don't know. It's odd to me. And this person did. And I'm like, holy forkin' shirt balls. What the hell? And speaking of robbing and getting away with it, did you hear that California, what up, California? You all are crazy. You're crazy down there. Not all of you. Um, Not trying to say everybody, but holy cow. So I don't remember if it's measure or title 38, 39. I need to know these things before I yap my gums. But the thing that allows people to just waltz on into a store, and as long as they steal, no more than $950 worth of merchandise, basically nothing happens to them, and they get to tootle on out, and no one can do a damn thing. Well, now all of a sudden, Californians are like, hold up, this is getting annoying. This is starting to get out of control. We don't like this anymore. Now that it's always, when it's affecting you personally, suddenly you don't like it anymore. Just like when Kamala Harris didn't like it when a bunch of illegal immigrants were plopped on her property, put in front of her fence. And just like when Martha's Vineyard didn't like it when a bunch of illegal immigrants were taken to their residence and going into their neighborhoods, all of a sudden they're like, wait, hold up. We don't, just kidding. We don't like this. But of course, they were acting like it was just, oh my God, it's just overwhelming. It's different. It's different for us. No, it just actually affects you. And you don't give a shit when it affects somebody else because you can watch from your little ivory tower and watch all the little people get trampled on. But when it finally affects you, suddenly you care. So now California is like, wait a second, this isn't working anymore. And then Gavin Newsom is like, I don't think that we should fix a damn thing. It's discriminatory. It's just, it's racist. I mean, come on. That's so 2023. We do not get to cry and scream racism anymore. It's over. It's overdone. It's overplayed. I've said this in so many podcasts. It's so 2023. It's so last season. Get over it. No one cares anymore. People care about their pockets right now. People care about their families. People care about their jobs. We don't give a shit about this whole cry baby stuff anymore. We're fresh out of tissue. We're just, I think that, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think that January can't come any sooner. January 20th is right around the corner. And I think everybody is just chomping at the bit and cannot wait because this administration has just been a joke. And it boggles my brain cells. It boggles my brain cells that there are still to this day people out there that stand by Joe Biden and stand by Kamala and stand by this administration with all the facts, not opinions, but facts, with all the stats out there. And you're still to this day. Is it out of stubbornness? Is it out of pride? Is it out of just you just genuinely do think that the Biden administration was fantastic? I'm just so curious. I just want to see what's going on in that brain. I want a doctor, a psychiatrist, a scientist, all up in there. It's so crazy to me. But those same people think that I'm crazy and think that I need a doctor and a psychiatrist and a scientist all up in there. And, maybe I do. I do for many reasons. I do. Trust me, I agree with you. I do need all of the above all up in there. And if you know of anybody that's willing to get all up in my head, do it. Let's do it. I'll take also a tarot card reader, a psychic, whatever. Whoever can offer me some help to figure my brain out, I'm all for it. But I'm not saying that I think Trump is the savior, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have faults. He does. And one person, obviously, he's one man. We all need to take responsibility and accountability for our actions and what we did or did not do during, in our life in general. I mean, what am I doing? Am I getting out and helping pass a bill? No. I try to get the word out. I try to back up me being kind and all that. But as far as our government and our country, I vote. So that counts. I try to pay attention and try to do, podcasts sometimes that have information. But do I go out and attend city council meetings? No. Should I? Yeah, I should. I need to. So it's the things we have and have not done that we need to be held accountable for. So he's one man, and then there's us. We are the people of the United States of America. We are those people that we talk about, and we the people. We is us. We is you. We is all of y'all. And we can either sit around and continue to bicker, or we can try to find solutions. And sometimes I sit around and bicker and I'm not trying to find a solution, and that's not very productive. That is part of the problem. So I don't know. I hope, like I said, I'm really, really scared because I don't want anyone to have another attempt on Trump's life. I'm worried because if they've already been trying before he's even president, that concerns me for when he becomes president. Nobody likes people within the government that are corrupt, and people in other countries that are corrupt, and people in other countries that know that right now um, they probably feel like they can pick on us a lot more, but they know that once Trump is in office, he means business and he's going to be respectful. But if you F with us, fuck around and find out. And with Biden, it was don't. Well, what the hell? I don't think anybody wants war, and nobody wants, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that do, but I feel like the majority of people in the world don't want to fight, don't want war. We'd like to all just mind our own fucking business. And if we need help sometimes, we can help each other out. Like we can just mind our own damn business. But then, hey, if one country needs some help, we can help them. I don't mean, billions of dollars, Ukraine. God, Biden got ourselves in a pickle with Ukraine, that whole thing, and with Russia, and just, I'm not going to get into that on this podcast. But again, I have nothing against Ukraine or Russia. In fact, like I said, I'm trying to learn Russian because I think it's freaking beautiful language. I don't give a shit what people say. The Russian language to me, gorgeous, love it. All you Russians out there, just want you to like read a book to me in your language. I would just be like, oh. But I'm sorry, the supposed romantic languages, the Latin languages, drive me up a tree. I don't want to learn them. I don't want to learn French. I learned French. I learned, um, again, I have nothing against people that speak French at all. I'm sure that most of the people in France don't find that the American English, the English accent is great either. Like, you know, I'm sure they make fun of us and don't find us, soothing and beautiful either. So, I'm just saying, like, I like the German accents and the Russian accents. They just sound awesome to me. The Israeli accents. Love it. Love it. Love it. I need the back of the throat stuff, not the, I don't like it. You're trying too hard. You're just trying too hard, I feel like. The French, the Spanish, French, and Italian, those romantic languages are just, what everybody finds so beautiful. And again, I think that you are beautiful people, your countries are beautiful. But again, you guys, come on. You don't think that a Jersey accent or a Texan accent or a North Dakota accent is sexy. You guys don't go around talking about that. I swear you don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. But nothing against the countries or the people, and I think their their language is fine. They have beautiful, it's a fine language. Just saying it doesn't do it for me the way that German or Russian, I don't know. I like it. Anyway, um, I go off on these tangents. This is why you guys listen to me, right? Because it's the ramblings of an insomniac for a reason, because I'm rambling and I'm on my gajillionth day. That's a number, gajillionth day of work. And I was working. Now I have time off. And today I just sat down for the first time today. And I think that all of the overtime has caught up to me. And now my brain is like an 8 ball that you shake up. You shake, and then like you ask me a question, and then like I feel like my head's like an 8 ball, and you shake it, and you're going to get whatever response, like whatever convoluted response, whatever general weird response. That's what you're going to get from me. I'm tired. So I don't really know why I launched into all the accountability and we the people. There we go. See, I always circle back around. Look at me go. We the people of the world need to get our shit together, mind our own freaking business as far as each country. But if one of us needs help, I mean, if it's help nuking a country, we should probably say no. We should probably be like, if you need a cup of sugar, cool. Nuclear weapons, sorry, brah. So we just all need to take accountability this time around, participate, get involved. Get involved. We're all in this together. I don't know the rest of the words to High School Musical song. That wasn't even the beat to it either. I just butchered it completely. It's the High School Musical song, we're all in this together. Anyway. Hey, you listening to my podcast right now. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate anybody that is, like I said, taking their time out of their day, night, afternoon to listen. Thank you. Thanks for giving. Oh, can you hear my cat? He's purring like crazy. He says thank you as well. So thank you so much for listening to me babble about nothing for another episode. I appreciate it. I wish you the best. I wish you well. I wish you good day, good afternoon, good evening. Until next time.